welcome you to today's episode. As usual, my name is Oluwadimi Ofeani Solomon. And in this episode, as we've started, in my first episode, I talked about the definition of animal husbandry. Another episode, I speak about the usefulness of farm animal to man. This time around, I want to continue by speaking about. In this episode, I'll be talking about the classification of farm animal, whereby farm animals are classified majorly into 6 main categories. One, they are classified according to their size. And number 2, they are classified according to the mode of nutrition. Number 3, they are classified according to the usefulness, the uses. Number 4, they are classified according to the habitat, that is the environment that they were living. Number 5, they are classified based on the classes that it belongs to. And number 6, they are classified based on the size that they are. So these are the 6 classifications of farmer. But majorly, this 6 classification has been zeroed down into 3. But don't mind yourself. We are going to discuss about all the classes of farm animal that I mentioned. Before we go, let me say this, announce this. Don't just go like that. When watching this video, just click on subscribe to this YouTube page, and click on notification button so that you'll be aware whenever I drop any content. Thank you for doing that. So let's move quickly to the classification of farm animal that we were discussing. Now, to start with, let's start with the first classification of farm animal, which is a classification of farm animal based on their habitats. When we are talking about habitat, that is the environment in which the animal lives, in which the animal are found, in which they breed, they live, they feed, in which they give birth to, where they were living. That is the environment. And under this category, the farm animal are classified based on their habitat into 2. That is, we have a terrestrial farm animal and the aquatic farm animal. Now, terrestrial farm animal are the types of animal that lives on land. I repeat, terrestrial animal are the animal that lives on land. Examples of this animal: we have goats, we have a cattle, we have sheep, we have cow, horse, we have a domestic fowl. Any animal that lives on land are classified as a terrestrial animal, are called terrestrial animal. The other classification of farm animal based on the habitat that they were found, that they were living, is also called aquatic animal. Under this aquatic animal, the aquatic animal, they are subdivided into 2. Aquatic animals are subdivided into 2. We have one that is called amphibian, and we have the another one that is called reptile. The amphibians or reptile, that is reptilian. So the aquatic animal, they are the animal that are found that lives inside the water. Any animal that grows up inside water, they are called aquatic animal. They are classified as aquatic animal. And I said earlier that they were categorized into 2. That is the amphibian and the reptile. The amphibian, they are the animal that lives inside water. They live inside water, and at times they come up. They live inside water, and at times they come up. For example, we have a frog, we have toad. The examples of amphibian. Now, the reptile, we have lizard, we have snake, we have crocodile. The examples of amphibian. So, these are the example of animal that lives inside water, and these are the classification of farm animal based on the habitat that they were living. Number 2 classification of farm animal is classification of farm animal based on the body size. And under this category, the farm animal, they are classified into, they are grouped into 2 categories. That is, we have one animal that is called micro farm animal, and another one that is called macro farm animal. The body size, their weight will determine either they belong to macro or micro. Micro are the animal that have they are the animal that have small body size. They are the animal that have small body size. While macro farm animal, they are the animal big or large body size. Macro farm animal, we have bees, bees, bees. We have rabbit also. We have snail. They require lesser space. They require lesser space. They do not require too much space. They do not require too much income, too much capital before we can start them. And the waste product that they generate is too small. So that is why they are called micro farmers, because they are very small. They are easy to rear. The other category of farm animal based on the body size is macro. That is based on they are large, they are big, and we have animal that belongs to this category. We have cattle, we have sheep, we have goats, and we have horse. They are example of farm animal that belongs to this category, that is macro farm animal. They have big size, and if you can imagine the two animal, that the two category I mentioned, macro and micro, if you can just sit down and check, examine them, you will see that there's differences between them. One require big space and the other one require a small space to there. So at your own leisure time, just draw out your point, the point that you need, the differences between the two. Draw a point, the differences between the two. As I said earlier, subscribe to this page, click on notification button for you to be aware of any content drop. Now, number 3, the third classification of farm animal. We have a classification of farm animal based on the mode of reproduction, or we can call it based on the ways, the process of giving birth. Now, farm animal are classified based on the mode of reproduction into two. We have oviparity and viviparity. Oviparity and viviparity. Now, when we are talking about oviparity are they are also known as oviparous animal. They are also oviparous animal. That is, they are the animal that possess that lay eggs. Yes, I'm going to talk about that earlier. I'm going to talk about that when I move further. So, oviparous animal, they are the animal that lay eggs. Why viviparous animal, viviparity? They are the animal that give birth to their young ones. You might be wondering, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to explain? Giving birth to their young ones alive. These are viviparous animal. They're not giving birth to their young ones alive. Yes, they give birth to their young ones, but it is quite different, because viviparous animal goes through what we call parturition. Viviparous animal goes through gestation. So, but oviparous animal, they do not go through such. So that is why we said viviparous animal give birth to their young ones alive, while oviparous animal lay eggs. Now, let me quickly leave that slide and move on quickly. Now, number 4, the fourth classification of farm animal. Remember, I said earlier that we're going to talk about the 6 classes of farm animal, whereby we've talked about 3. 1, classification based on habitat. 2, classification based on body size. 3, classification based on mode of reproduction.